Yes, sir. DallyBoy coming in loud and clear. Yes, sir. So this video here, I know people gonna misunderstand this video. So let me try to say it in a way that I can help those who may misunderstand and not misunderstand it. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, right? Born and raised from the South Side, the ghetto, the gutter, the hood, whatever you want to call it, right? So lately, the past few years, our city been, our city been getting a big makeover. You know what I'm saying? They gentrifying it, so to say. At the same time they gentrifying it, we have a whole bunch of homeless people. Like, we got a real bad homeless problem. However, this video is to speak on not just the homeless problem, but this video is based on change. That's what this video is based on, change. So I want people to understand where I'm coming from. I'm talking about changing something, like changing a generation. So don't misread this or don't mishear it. You got to hear the whole thing. I think we as people in the hood, or people from the hood, people who work, the working class, individuals who have a little change extra, we waste our money. We waste too much money feeding the homeless. Let me say it again. We waste too much money feeding the homeless. Now, let me tell you why I say that. Because I've been guilty of it myself. I've done many things for the homeless. And it always, it warmed my heart. It gave me comfort. It made me feel good to look out for them. That's all it's going to do, though. It's not changing anything for them. Like, they're not coming off the street because I gave them a meal or because I gave them a few bucks. They going looking for the next meal or the next few bucks to secure them some money where they'll have money to do what they need to do. A lot of them are on drugs and they need the money to get their drugs. A lot of them are alcoholics. They need the money to get their alcohol. A lot of them don't have nothing. No, they have motel rooms and programs that they in that require money, and that's what they need the money for, right? But the majority of them, 98% of them, choose to be homeless. And when I say choose to be homeless, I mean they got somewhere they can go, or if they change the way their life is, or if they change their attitude or the way they look at life, change their values, they can start to establish them a home, or at least put a roof over their head, versus living under the bridge, living out on the street, sleeping on the sidewalk, sleeping in cars, sleeping wherever you can sleep until the next day, or just to get you a few hours of sleep and they keep going. Because most of them, let's face it, man, America has a real bad drug addict problem. So many Americans are drug addicts. And a lot of those homeless are drug addicts, like I said. So here's the thing why I say I stopped feeding them. Because my focus is, how do we change? How can we get a change out of this? This has been going on forever. And I realize that the change comes in those who have not yet wasted their lives. Because all these a lot of the homeless I'm speaking about homeless adults. I'm not speaking on homeless kids. And I know some people are homeless with their kids. I feel for them. And then I try to help them out when I can. But I'm also from the streets. I've been out there. Sold dope, did dope, know the whole rope. So I know an addict when I see an addict. Alcoholic, drunk alcohol for what? I don't know, over 30 years. I know an alcoholic when I see an alcoholic. So I can identify with this stuff. What I'm saying is, in order to see a change, we have to do something different. So I decided to pour all mine into the youth. Yes, the youth. The people everybody is afraid to deal with. The people everybody say is gone crazy, out of control. These are the people who going to be living 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 years from now. The youth. Like, we have to be real. Like, a lot of the homeless adults, like, they gave up on their life. They're not trying to change anything. They don't want to see a change. They're not interested in a change, right? Take a coffee break real quick. Take a coffee break. They're not interested in a change. They're comfortable standing on the corner begging for money, walking up to your car begging for money, walking out in front of stores begging for money. Like, they comfortable with that. So everybody, and I don't have a problem, but in St. Pete, it's so many places that feed the homeless. There's a lot of stuff going on for the homeless, right? So I said, we got to start feeding the youth. Why isn't all these places established for the youth? Why isn't all these places where the youth can go and get them a meal? It's a lot of disadvantaged youth, a lot of at-risk youth who, if it's a place for them to go and get a hot meal, get them a hot breakfast or a hot lunch or a hot dinner, this can help them when they get their meal and go on back to their house or their home or wherever they have to go and wherever they have to live on a full stomach. If they're skipping school or they missing school because they don't have nothing to eat, or they ashamed because they have to get free lunch or whatever it may be, because you know how this country works. We pick on the people with less. Whether you got less strength, less money, less looks, whatever it is, less attractive looks to what we've been conformed to think is what's beautiful or handsome to us. If you look lesser, or you get picked on, talked about, like looked down upon, like this the American way. Look down on those without or those with less. And it rolls down here to us too. You know, we do the same stuff that the people at top do. The only difference is they got the power. They have the money, they have the wealth, they have the resources. What we have down here is problems with each other. I don't like you because you doing this. I don't like you because you doing that. So I'm interested in change. How can we come about a change? I know a bunch of dope dealers who they make a lot of money, and the way they want to do something, give something back, they go and give it back to the homeless. Like, we need to give it to the kids. A lot of them have kids who are in juvenile, headed to jail, in prison, like already. Why aren't they thinking like, no, you know what, let's build some programs to help these youth stay out of these prison systems, stay out of these institutions. Or let's build something to keep them so when they come home, they don't have to go back. No, everybody want to stand out and feed the homeless and feel good, go home and feel good because they fed the homeless. But nothing is changing. A lot of people feed the homeless, they feel like God going to bless them for feeding the homeless. And I can't knock nothing that God may bless any of us for. But if any of us want to see a change, the change starts with who can make the change. The youth. Prepare the youth for a successful future. Prepare some successful youth for the future. And we have a brighter future. We will have a change that we actually want to see. And then we will actually have lesser homeless. Because a lot of the youth, they're going to be the next homeless. Especially if nothing changes. They're going to be on drugs. They're going to be on alcohol. They're going to be on the streets. They're going to be on crime. They're going to be on everything that America is. Negative. Because that's what's here. Like, the positive stuff is so far and few, it's hard for them to even see the light. Or see why they should be focusing so hard on being legit. Being concrete, being straight. Not jumping and just jumping off that porch and running out there in them streets and getting into crazy stuff, stealing cars, just to drive around and joyride in, picking fights with people who may be armed and just ready to shoot you, and you have no idea. Like, this will keep them out of stuff like that. We build institutions for these kids to come up, like people my age and even some younger. We understand that when we came up, we had vocational school. We had summer youth jobs that we can go and work for and make our own money and buy our own clothes. We were poor, but we come into school and Levi's and Polos and Adidas and Pumas and all this stuff that we bought with our own money because our parents weren't going to buy. But now we have a generation of us who we buy all this stuff for our kids, and they don't even know about the struggle that we went through. And they're not even in a struggle because we carry them. So we have to start teaching these youth some things, man. And that's all I was trying to say about feeding the homeless. In my mind and in my heart, I'm not going to say feeding the homeless is a waste of time. I'm saying feeding the homeless is not going to change our conditions as people. So if I can just get all y'all who got a homeless program going on who do something for the homeless to even consider or even see how you can do something for the youth, we'll start seeing a difference in our community, man. And with that, I'm going to be gone because I really didn't intend for this to be that long. But y'all be easy, man, and I hope y'all understand it, man. We have to feed the youth and not just food. Just think if the youth have resourceful places they can go to and really get resources. Places they can go to and really learn about themselves. their people, not their people who have been conformed to act like other people, or who have wanted to fit in with other people so much that they don't even speak or sound like themselves. They don't even look at themselves. When they look in the mirror, they don't see themselves. They don't see their people. When they look in the mirror, they see another people. You see, that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna leave it right there, man. But if we want to change, man, we can let's just help the youth. I promise you, if we build institutions for the youth and build resources for them and connect dots for them, that's what the Real Youth Alliance is about. That's what the Real Youth Alliance is about. That's why I started the Real Youth Alliance. And I didn't start it on my own. I started it with my wife, like somebody who has the same compassion. You see, I took it to people. I mentioned it to people who I thought had the same compassion. But they, like, people talk. Actions speak louder than words, man. So I teamed up with somebody who I know gonna go at it just as hard as I go at it. And we just trying to team up with other people who can see that the youth are the future, man. Whitney Houston made a song about it. Like, we have to understand, just look at it. We were the youth. Now we the present, right? That's how life works. So we got to plant some seeds for these kids that's coming up. We can't just keep teaching them the hip hop and the shake the booty and the twerking and just the entertainment of life. We have to teach them that life is serious. Life can be very short, and life can be hard if you make the wrong decision. And we have to build establishments for them, somewhere for them to go. When these kids come out their house, they don't got nowhere to go. Productive. People gonna say, well, they can come here to the library, or they can, but y'all are not teaching them. Y'all don't have anything in there that they're interested in, because their mind has already been controlled by the mass media and by the propaganda. Their mind already stuck and lost. So now you got to find a way to bridge the gap between their fantasy and reality, and bring them to reality. Bring them out of those fantasies and bring them to reality. And before I go, another thing that'll help them get out of that, and this is going to be for a whole nother video, is to stop celebrating all these holidays that we have no idea about, all these holidays that have nothing to do with us. Stop participating in them. And if we have, just use your eyes and your mind, and then use your conscience and go and study. Like, use some energy and study all these holidays, see where they come from. And then look at the holidays that belong to us, like Dr. Martin Luther King. Look at a holiday like that belongs to us, something that we went and actually pushed for and fought for and asked for. And look and see who's participating in that with us. And stop participating in these holidays that bring nothing of value to us as a people. All it does is take. It asks for our money. It demands our money. It demands our time. It demands our attention. But I know people gonna keep doing it. But I mean, that's another video. But in the meantime, man, y'all be easy. I'm DallyBoy.